Alright guys, we're working on the dump truck today. There's some video I'll share of this thing smoking a little bit from the last run we made with it on the way home and backing into the driveway. So we'll start with that. And I'm going to show you probably why. This thing is blown out worse than, well, we'll leave it up to your imagination, but don't know if you can hear that. Hopefully you can. That is in play in the turbo, not up and down. Up and down is there's a little up and down too, but very minimal compared to the in play. I got all the clamps off of it, but they don't want to break loose easily, so I got to fight with those. Let's see if I can climb my butt up here and get something done. Good place to stand on these things, I tell you what. Whoever designed this. It's already, I might have to rename this truck Rambo because it's already drawn first blood today. Pretty quick. There we go. Get that one free. That one partly free. It's like 3 pieces on these clamps that you have to break free. Alrighty. See if I can't give you guys a little bit of a bird's eye view of what I'm doing here. Okay. So the intake tube to the turbo right there. Pressurized turbo air going over to the intercooler. One clamp. Kind of hung up here. There we go. This clamp back here, this clamp here, and 2 stud bolts. Should be all that's holding this turbo on. Now let's see if I can't get it out of here. With any luck. Okay, need a belt, the pants are sliding down. Let me guess. Yeah, we're still attached here at the back. There we go. Maybe. Go get a light, double check. We might be missing something. All right, let's give this a go again. I think I was able to break it loose with a pry bar. It's sitting on some dowels. There we go. Yeah, we're sitting on a dowel. Goodness. Get her over here on the bench. And all you engineers out there, this is why people don't like you. 12.5/16. Not a very common socket. I do not have 1 3/8 drive. All I've got is 1/4. Hopefully we can make that work. Batteries. chucking the oil through there. Set that there. Let's see. Oh yeah, we've been scraping rotor for sure. So that impeller has been riding right through there for sure. Notice how the fins are all shiny. Let's see, good 1/8 inch. Now, how do we get the rest of this thing apart? Great question, Matt. All right, 6 times a charm, I hope. I rattled on it with the big gun for a little bit. Now we're ready to see pull on them. Goodness, these things are about half melted. And broke free. But it's got a tight spot in it, sure enough. Maybe it's just the socket was getting in the way. Well, this one will come out. I've never had these fight me so hard before. Oh, let's take the camera out while we're at it. Usually the welding nut on trick usually works pretty well. Not horribly hot, but won't turn that easy still. Good thing if I do get a rebuild kit, they send you all new bolts. Rusted up. Did look like some of the penetrating oil had actually made its way down in there. I did soak this stuff. Wow, about melted most of this nut away. Alrighty, hope for the best. Did we get it? We got it. Heck yeah. Finally. Can I get the socket off there? Probably not. See if she'll work her way out of there. There we go. Move you guys back. And now I'm sure splitting this thing will be fun. I don't have to waste any more of my nuts, at least. Okay, I went and got a pry bar. I actually think a punch might work better. Let's see. That sucker's. Almost too thin right there. Try this bigger punch. Wow. Let's try over here. Take the ice back up a little bit. Goodness. We'll give this another try. All right, we're getting somewhere now, finally. Slow and steady wins the race. Painful. There we go. All right, clear some room and clean some stuff out here. Goodness. What a mess, what a mess. All right, clear some stuff out and bring you back. Okay guys, looked around a little bit online. This turbine wheel on the exhaust side is definitely not supposed to be shaped like that. It is worn significantly away. So when it comes to the price of the shaft, the compressor's chewed up a little bit. The rebuild kits, all that. I just went ahead and bought a cartridge from ProSource Diesel. Hopefully that doesn't bite me. I did buy one with an upgraded compressor wheel. And I think it also comes with this piece here, which is showing a couple cracks in it. So we will... This piece looks fine though, from a crack standpoint. So we will get that. I don't see any cracks showing in that thing. So we'll go ahead and get that cartridge with that housing there and get this thing put back together as soon as that arrives. It's always exciting when you start draining the oil and you find out your bucket, casting shadow, has a big leak in the side of it right there, which looks like we're about out of oil. Luckily, this almost got exciting. Whew. A lot of oil. That needed drained. We have not changed the oil in this since we bought it, which we haven't taken it out a ton. We definitely put her through her paces. The engine's tired and old. Definitely got some blow by, but it gets the job done. I think we'll get more years out of her for sure. All right, we gotta make some stuff happening fast. We are about to overflow. Must have fit right there. I just need something to hold it up. Well, here we are. We're going to put this turbo back together. I went the easy route. I went to ProSource Diesel. I'm not sponsored or affiliated with them, but I was going to need a new turbine, because I think you can see there in the image, this turbine is worn real bad. You can see those points sticking down. That's how much wear is actually on that turbine. That's where this turbine has none of that. So a stock turbine, I believe, upgraded compressor, Not crazy different, but you got the old cast wheel compressor versus a billet. So I'm hoping that will help with the low speed boost a little bit. Again, we're not going for crazy power here, but I would like this thing to be a little more responsive. It is slower than Christmas. Pulling out into an intersection, you step on the gas, it's like it's not doing anything. It's like it couldn't fall out of a tree if it wanted to. But I'm hoping this will help that a little bit, pick up the responsiveness down low, build a little more boost on the bottom end, and get that thing moving out a little faster. That'll be a big improvement. And there's just so much wear on this other turbo. I could have rebuilt it, but I would have had to get a new turbine wheel and shaft, a new compressor wheel. And by the time I got that, I would have been at the 200 and something for a cartridge, or 275. And if I go with an upgraded wheel, I think this was 370, 380, somewhere in that neck of the woods. So it's just easier to buy the whole assembly and not have to mess with putting one together. So we're gonna get this thing thrown together. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about that, and we'll get her slapped on the truck. All right, guys, we got the turbo back on. That was pretty easy install, really. I did go around and make sure all the other 4 pedestal bolts were good and tight. And then just put a little, just in case, put just a hair of petroleum jelly on the O-rings, make sure they stayed seated. Set the turbo down, buttoned up the connections, 2 bolts that hold it down. Should be good to go. I did use the Moly lube in the turbo. I didn't flush the engine oil before I did this. I wasn't sure the turbo was completely bad until I got into it, so it was already too late then. So we did fill, did change the oil with some of the best farm store 15W40 you can find, semi-synthetic or synthetic blend. Now we're gonna fire it up, change filters and everything. So hopefully we will be good to go. All right, I assume that is monitoring the temperature of the air in the engine. It needs to be hooked up. Sitting on the glow plugs. All right, here we go. Check for leaks. Alright, let's go for a short little ride. Give her a test. Everything seems good. I'll hit that trailer right there. But that bedside makes it about impossible to see cars coming down this road from the side. Yep, if they're coming, they're just gonna have to wait now. I'm backing out.
getting in it real hard. Low speed power is a lot better. Through and turn around this old lot. A little smoky, but nowhere near as bad. Make sure all the boots are in good shape. Actually, that other turbo probably pumps so much oil through the intercooler that it's probably burning off other oil as I get up to boost pressure, start shoving air through those intercooler piping. It's probably just burning out oil that's laying in there. So it'll probably smoke for a little while. Oil change, the oil pressure's up where it should be now. It was getting a little low there. I think we're in good shape now. We'll park her in the shop, get ready for decal removal. Give it a quick look over. Short little run, but it got her hot enough. She's smoking off some of the oil that got down to the valley. And there was a little bit of fuel got down in there from changing that fuel filter, so a little bit of smoke down there. But I will say the throttle response is 10 times better. Used to, you would hit the throttle and it's like, all right, I'm not going anywhere. What's going on? And finally it would start taking off. So that new turbo is a huge improvement on the throttle response. And part of it is just because that old turbo was so wore out, I'm sure it wasn't making boost like it should have down low. Part of it might be that new billet wheel that's in this turbo as well. I think I did show you guys already this old turbine wheel. It's got these little points sticking out on it. That's how much was wore off that turbine wheel. So that thing was just sitting there slopping around. The compressor was wore down. So it was in bad shape. Definitely not healthy turbo. So Now that we got the turbo healthy, doesn't smoke nearly as bad, runs 10 times better. I would have probably figured it was injectors that was causing the smoking and the poor running condition, but just goes to show you got to go through and troubleshoot. Don't just throw parts at things. I started checking that turbo first because it was putting out a little bit of oil and making it smoke. So in the engine, air and fuel, you got to make sure they're right. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll probably wrap it here. This was probably going to get a little bit long, and then we'll jump into decal removal after that. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, more to come.